Kevin, let's say somebody joins SubTo community.
Yeah.
They go, I'm going to go and latch on to Kevin, latch on to Josh. How quickly do you think they could make $10,000 working underneath you guys?
I'll say a week for me.
What we're going to highlight today is we're going to highlight young, old, experienced, non-experienced, licensed, non-licensed, how you can go out and make $100,000 this year. All right, guys, I'm here with Josh and Kevin Choe. Josh Boenze and Kevin Choe. Both of these gentlemen are on Instagram, and they're young whippersnappers. What I want to do today is show you guys that you can be young and still make a lot of money. Now, let's do a quick snapshot. Josh, how much money do you think you'll make this year?
Goal is 180.
Are you on track to make 180?
On track right now.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
Okay. Do you need a license to do any of the stuff you're currently doing?
No, you do not.
Okay. Kevin, how old are you?
I'm 22.
How much money do you think you'll make this year?
$600,000.
$600,000. That's between what activities?
That's between assigning wholesale deals and then gator lending on the side.
Wholesaling what kind of deals?
Wholesaling SubTo deals.
Okay, great. So guys, that's actually what we're going to dive into today, is show you that even though you're young, you don't even have a license, right?
I don't.
Are you going to go get a license?
Never.
Okay. Now, Josh, you do have a real estate agent license, but you learned last year that that wasn't the way for you to make more money.
No, yeah, and it's not what I enjoyed. I thought it's what I was going to enjoy, but I definitely enjoyed the numbers. And the house we walked into today, it couldn't sell because of the cosmetic issues, and that was not even the start of the problem.
Okay, cool. So what we're going to break down in this video is teach you guys how two young kids are making a bunch of money. So no matter what age you are, if you're young yourself and you're like, there's nothing I can do. Guys, I can tell you e-com is bullshit. I can tell you going out and what are other things that people are teaching?
Drop shipping.
Drop shipping.
That's a scam.
Yeah.
Drop shipping, okay? just get out of it. It's a scam. All of it's a scam. I should know. I've been scammed. Last year I got scammed $950,000 on stuff. Go watch the CoffeeZilla video. It's really, really good. You guys will see how I got scammed $950,000. But there's no better way to make money than what you two are doing. And so what I want to highlight today is, doesn't matter if you're young, doesn't matter if you're old, doesn't matter if you're licensed, doesn't matter if you're experienced or not in this, you can go out and make money,
Right.
and you can do it relatively quickly. I would say it's simple, but would you say it's easy?
I don't think it's easy. I feel challenged, and that's what I enjoy.
Which is a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Again, what we're going to highlight today is we're going to highlight young, old, experienced, non-experienced, licensed, non-licensed, how you can go out and make $100,000 this year. I don't want to be over-promising and tell people you're all going to make $600,000 like Kevin, but we'll break down both what your guys' strategies are. But let's start quick little 5 minutes. 5 minutes is actually pretty long. Tell people, how did you get into what we're going to talk about? And what was the turning point that put you onto it? Then you'll stop, and then we'll go to Kevin, like, where did you come from? And what was the turning point that put you on to what you're currently doing? And then we'll talk about what you're doing so that other people can go out and do the same thing.
So like last year, I graduated high school around this time. I walked the stage, grabbed my diploma. And then the first day after I graduated high school, I started real estate school. I finished that in about 3 months, took the test, got a good grade on the test. And then I started showing mobile home parks for about another 3 months.
Hold on. We got to package that. You were showing mobile homes in a park. How did you land that job?
There's an app called Opcity that sends you lead notifications. I wasn't like enough status as an agent to get those higher buyers and stuff like that. So
you started from the bottom.
Start from the bottom. And then I showed these people homes. I was like, hey, you can live in this 30.
Were they rentals or to purchase?
To purchase.
Okay, got it. So you were like, I can show you these $30,000 homes. You were showing them, you were paying for these leads through Oddcity, or what's it called?
My brokerage paid for the lead generation, but
shout out brokerage.
Yeah. So I showed them for a while. I didn't sell a single one. All the people I was showing didn't qualify for the thing. They all wanted to buy. They had the money. They just didn't qualify for the park. And then I text your wife. I was like, hey.
How did you meet my wife? Why are you texting my wife, Duff?
I met your wife when I was 16 in the Starbucks drive-through.
So she'd been one of your regulars for a couple of years.
Yeah, she's still one of my regulars.
What does she order every time?
She orders an iced matcha with soy milk and light ice.
Amazing. Anything else? Does she randomly get some random
she'll get a mocha every once in a while. She does soy milk in that as well.
What else does she order?
Sausage and cheddars. I think she gets no egg on hers.
No cheese.
No cheese.
What else does she get?
You get a peach tea. Lainey also gets a peach tea. Vanilla milks.
Yeah, a lot of vanilla milks.
Our store orders more vanilla milks because your wife likes so much vanilla. You order double the like recommended amount for your wife.
Oh, that's amazing.
So.
Okay, cool. So you met my wife when you were 16 through the drive-through.
Yeah.
Which is how you got her cell phone number. How did, like, you obviously are not just looking at these people as customers. You're asking them questions. You're getting to know them.
So when I was 16, I thought the Tesla was the coolest thing ever. Your wife drove a Tesla. So I was like, what do you do? So I knew she was an agent for a while. And then when senior year came around and I was like, crap, I really don't want to pay for college. What am I going to do? It's like, well, one of my most wealthy regulars drives a Tesla and she's a real estate agent.
What you just dropped there was such a small sentence, but such a big golden nugget. And what it was I saw she drove a car and I wanted to know what she did for a living. So I asked her. And it's like, oh, that works.
Yeah.
That question led you to this chair right here.
Led me right here. Yeah.
Okay.
So I knew she was an agent and I was like, hey, what should I do? And she says, you should come work with me. So after I got my license, like the day after I got my license, I started working with your wife. And yeah, I helped her with random things. I think I let a guy into a house once to inspect a roof.
Okay. And you decided after a while, you're like, I don't like being an agent.
Yeah. I after my third person didn't qualify for the mobile home and I hadn't made any money, I was like, you know what, it's probably time to switch course. So then I asked Laura, I was like, what should I do? And she goes, you should go work with this awesome dude named Kevin Choe and do whatever he tells you. I think that's what the text said exactly.
Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you are Danielson. Okay, so you decide, hey, because my wife, obviously, she's a full-time mom. She's on a TV show. She's got all this stuff. So she's like, Josh, I think you should go work with Kevin Choe.
Yeah.
He's becoming a leader inside of the SubTo community. You should go and latch on to his momentum.
Yeah.
So last year in 2022, how much money did you make again?
About 12,000.
About 12,000. Did you get taxed on that 12 grand?
I did.
Did you pay some tax last year?
I did.
Do you know what your actual take home was last year?
My take home, I paid 3% of the 12,000.
Oh, it's not bad. Okay, so you're like 11,000, almost 11,000 something.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, you guys get taxed really low.
Yeah.
That's great.
So
but you'd rather make a lot more money and pay a lot more tax than make no money and pay almost no tax.
I have an awesome tax dude.
Great. Dope.
Small plug.
Small plug. Drop the nugget. Drop the nugget. Okay, so enter Kevin Choe. Kevin Choe, how did you enter into my world and where'd you come from? What were you doing? Start when you were in like high school.
So I graduated high school in 2019 and I got, because I got rejected from most of the schools that I applied for. It wasn't because I wasn't smart. It was just because like they just dropped me. They just didn't accept me for some reason.
They knew you were meant for something better.
Yes, that's why. So 2019, I graduated, and then right immediately after that, I get myself into an ATM business because I wanted to get into entrepreneurial.
How did you find out about that? Was it like an Instagram ad or something?
It was through just scrolling through YouTube, and then it was how to make like $300 a month with like $2,000. That's kind of how I got into it because ATM machine is only $2,000, and then it's $2,100 ATM machine.
Why aren't you doing that?
It's not worth my time. I'm not gonna do anything. I don't want to do anything for $300 a month at this point. It's not enough money. But then I because I was in the YouTube world of just doing businesses, I ran into Max Maxwell and a few other guys. I got into real estate, and that's what I ultimately wanted to do. And at that time I was in community college, and I wanted to drop out. And in order for me to drop out, I had to have something on the side because my mom would never let me drop out of college without having some sort of backup plan.
What's so great about this is not like 20 years ago. This is like 2 years ago.
This was almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, that your mom was still making decisions for you.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I dropped out and then I told my mom. So sometimes I would drop out first and then I'll go to the college parking lot and then I'll just sit there and in my car listening to like ATM business course that I bought, and then I'll go back home when I'm supposed to be home. This was exactly 3 years ago.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah. So but then I get into real estate because I come from a family of real estate. My dad's a flipper. He fix and flips in Korea, and so does my uncle. And because I kind of dropped the ATM business and kind of jumped into real estate, I was in the wholesaling world, and I joined a different mentorship before I joined yours.
Okay, and then I remember the conversation. We don't need to talk about what mentorship it was, but it was about wholesaling, or
Yeah, it was a wholesale mentorship.
okay, and then that ended.
That ended 6 months after, yeah. And they would want to charge me like $300 a month, and I didn't have money at that time.
You should have told them to get an ATM business of about $300 a month.
No, yeah, I was debating.
Say, hey, I'll keep me in the course,
Yes.
and I'll teach you how to get an ATM business going, so you can make $300 a month,
Yes.
and then keep me in.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you find me?
I ran into you on YouTube too. So ATM business I ran into on YouTube. This mentorship I ran into on YouTube, and then I ran into you on YouTube. And this was 3 years ago.
3 years ago, right when I started the SubTo community.
Right.
Before I started the Gator Tribe, which you're also in the Gator Tribe as well.
Yes.
So started SubTo, you joined SubTo. I remember when you would come in and ask me questions, what was the number one thing you were struggling with at the time?
Friends. My question was, my friends are doing this, and I don't fit in here to be doing real estate at 20 years old.
Yeah, and I said, didn't your other mentorship have like friends? And you're like, oh, it's not really set up that way.
It's not, no,
And I was like, well, welcome to the greatest community on planet Earth.
100%.
How many friends do you think you have now?
Oh my God, I haven't counted, but at least 400, 500.
Like people that know you, they love you. People treat you like you're everybody's little brother in our community.
100%. So I ran into you 3 years ago, and I made an Instagram post yesterday because somebody texted me saying, hey, I'm 40. I see that you're doing all this stuff at 20 years old. I'm really inspired by you. And I said, well, it's all because I ran to you when I was 19 in high school, well, straight out of high school, and now I'm here.
And I appreciate the credit, but I want people to know like there's a domino effect that happens here, right? Like somebody has to commit to something. I'm excited about something. Yeah. I'm going to take a journey, and I'm going to take a chance on myself, right? So you took a chance on yourself to come into our world, and you didn't just sit there.
No.
You took action.
Right.
And you became friends with people, and people got to know you because you were an action taker. I do remember in the very beginning, all the conversations we would have on Zoom with all of our training. I would sit there and go, this guy needs to move out of his mom's house.
Yeah.
Like literally it was stressing me out. So I go up to LA, or I go up to Vegas. I take you to dinner, just you and me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is an intervention, bro.
Yeah.
You're moving out of your mom's house. You need to get going, which you did. You moved down to Arizona.
Yeah.
And you started doing the meetups here locally.
Yeah.
Okay. So you then meet Josh. I know that your guys' stories are actually kind of running right now. They're running in parallel to each other for a certain time, and you guys will deviate because you're individual business operators.
Right.
You're not partners.
No.
You will do JV deals together, but you're not partners.
Yeah. We're not partners.
Cool. So what would you say right now if you had to, if I took all your money, I took everything away from you, where would you go to make 10 grand in the next 2 weeks, or else you would die?
10 grand?
10 grand
in 2 weeks?
What would you do?
For me, I would do what I'm exactly doing, which is I'll go on PropStream. I'll find all the homes that are low equity, and I'll just pitch them SubTo.
Okay, so you're going to find houses that don't have any equity.
I don't have any equity.
PropStream has a filter that does this.
Yes.
You then will call these homeowners and pitch SubTo to these homeowners.
That's what I would do if I.
Are you calling just low equity, or are you calling low equity that's already listed on the MLS so you know that they're trying to sell?
Already listed and no equity. So I would stack those two together.
Okay, stack those two together. So go into PropStream, stack those two together. You're calling the agent in this situation.
Yes, we're calling the listing agent.
Okay, so you're calling the agent on a low equity, already listed property. What's super interesting is that there's a deal that maybe we should do a deal breakdown on the whiteboard here in a second. What's the property name?
Mallory Street.
On Mallory Street. We'll do that after. We'll do a part 2 of this whole interview.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll break down a deal that we just did together. But that was a house. Is it Mallory the one I bought?
That you're buying.
Okay, so the one I'm buying. The house on Mallory you got after it was only on the market for 2 days.
Yeah, so
we'll talk about that strategy in a minute. Let's talk about this strategy first so we don't get our audience deviated.
Oh.
Okay, so PropStream, step 1, go to PropStream.
Go to PropStream. Yeah.
Okay. There's probably my team will probably put a link to PropStream down below. Go to PropStream. I'm going on PropStream. I'm going to create a filter, which is my market that I want to buy houses in.
Yep.
I want to filter low equity on market for how many days?
No days. Just
You don't care.
no, I don't care.
Okay. Now I'm going to skip trace those, which means get their phone numbers, and I'm going to call the agents. What's my opening line?
My opening line would be, "Hey, my name is Kevin.
I'm going to make $600,000 this year, and I need 10 grand this week."
Yes, that's exactly what I'll say. My opening line would be, "Hey, my name is Kevin. I just moved from California, and I'm looking to place all my money into investment property here locally. And I was just wondering to see if you can tell me more about the house." That's my opening line.
I really like that. That's similar stuff that I would do. Like, hey, I'm new to the market, looking to get my first investment property started here. I like that. I like that spin on it. That's really good.
Yeah, and it gets them going.
Okay, gets them pumped.
Yeah,
Because they're like, oh, the buyer, he's got money. He's moving here. There's a reason why he's wanted to buy this house.
right.
And it also shows them that you're not trying to live in the house. You're trying to invest in the property.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's say you get a property under contract. We'll do some deal breakdowns also. Guys, watch for part 2 on this. We'll do some deal breakdowns. But let's say you get a property under contract subject to.
Mm-hmm.
If you're new and you're watching this for the first time, go to YouTube, either maybe a link down below, what is subject to, or go on YouTube and type in Pace Morby subject to, and there's a whole breakdown of what is subject to. So you get the house under contract subject to.
Right.
What do you do with it now?
Then I would go find a buyer that would want to buy this house as an investment property.
Okay, and how much do you typically make on a deal assignment fee or a finder's fee?
If I have a deal under contract and I'm giving it to a buyer, I'll charge my buyer around $10,000 to $15,000.
Okay, depending on interest rate and the down payment the seller's looking for, et cetera.
100%.
Okay, great. So these must be really, really hard to find. Like you probably can only do like 2 or 3 of these a year, right?
No, you just find one like 2 miles from your house right now.
Okay, so this actually happens a lot.
Happens all the time.
Okay, and could I do one every week?
Yes, and we're doing one every week.
Okay, why did you pause? Is it because it's challenging to do one every week?
No, it's not.
I think the problem is you're probably a little bit lazy. You make a lot of money. You don't want to work all day long.
That's true.
Is that really true?
It's really true. I made $6,000 this week from Gator lending, and I'm kind of taking it slow.
You're like, I made plenty of money. I'm chilling.
Yes.
So one of my biggest issues, and Josh, I'll jump to you in just a second. One of my biggest issues building my acquisition team back in the day was that exact problem.
Yeah.
You get people that are young and super hungry to get money, but the second they get more money than they've ever had in their life, they go, oh my gosh, I've made it. And then they want to chill for like 2 months.
Yeah.
Then they run out of that money and they get back to work.
Yes.
And then they have to build all that momentum again that they just built.
Yeah.
So like your way of doing it is actually the hardest way to do it because you lose your momentum. You have to kind of rebuild your momentum every couple of months probably.
Right.
Okay. Your financial thermostat needs to be cranked up a little bit to the point where you're like $50,000 a month is a requirement. Otherwise I can't chill.
Yeah.
You're like, which you are on track. You're on track to make $50,000 a month for the next rest of your life, knowing what you know now. But the second you're like, oh, $6,000 in 1 week off Gator lending, I'm chilling.
Less than an hour worth of time.
It's freaking amazing. So if you guys don't know what Gator is, we'll do another video. I'll break down a couple of videos with Kevin today about maybe some Gator deals that he's done. But we're not going to deviate to Gator today. We want to talk primarily to these 2 young whippersnappers about this strategy of finding low equity deals on market. Josh, you're doing a lot of calls to these agents, right?
Yeah.
Are you telling them you're from California too?
I'm not.
Okay, so that's not the only thing that works.
No.
What's another line that we could use?
So since I'm an agent, I use that when I'm talking to agents. So there's people like Kevin who call them and pitch, hey, I'm a new investor, but I pitch I'm an agent. So they respect me more on an on-level thing. So I can normally get a lot farther with an agent if an agent knows that someone's doing this.
Okay. And you say, hi, I'm Josh. I'm an agent.
Hi, I'm Josh. I'm with eXp Brokerage. I have a client who is interested in blah, blah, blah address.
Okay. And they say what?
They say, great. And then they always go probably on like a 3-minute rant about everything great about the property.
Oh, it's got a great roof. It's a great neighborhood. It's got a 3-bed, 2-bath. And
Fantastic.
the pool is great. Has water in it.
That's lovely. And then you just kind of email them through that.
They even they're going to clean the carpet when they move out.
Yeah.
And okay, that's what you do the whole time.
I'm like, yeah, that's great. That's great.
And you're writing on the piece of paper. You take notes on. You're like, I don't care.
I sometimes ask them to repeat stuff so they think that I'm really interested.
Oh, I like.
Yeah.
What was that about the third bedroom? Oh, okay, great. And then after a while, I'm like, okay, so I can offer this much. Say an offer way below what they can do.
So you're giving them a cash offer first.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, let's say they owe $400K. I'm like, I can do 370. They're like, that won't work. They have no equity in this property. The price is kind of firm. Oh, really? Well, I have another strategy that I can use that might work out. So your client won't have to cut a check. I'll be able to come into this with the amount of money I want to come into this, or my client will want to come into this with, and we can both walk away happy.
And what do most agents say to that?
At this point, they've heard it about 400 times. Like, oh, you're another one of those.
Yeah, I love it.
So they get pissed because now they just want a 15-minute rant and to someone who's just trying to do the same thing that people have been calling about. But I'm like, well, you can pick one or two, and I'll send you all the deals I've done. So then I send them all the deals I've done. They're like, he's an agent. He's done this many deals.
With this strategy.
Let's hear more.
And then you submit, we were talking about this earlier on the Mallory deal, you submit an LOI in every property.
That's what I do before I even call. So there's an LOI out on every single, if there's an on-market deal that works for SubTo, I can promise you that I have an LOI out.
Okay, great. And how often are you following up with the people that say no?
Every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks, Mark St. Peters is going to get a text saying, hey, what's up with 21st Street?
Everybody right now is Googling Mark St. Peters and going, I'm going to follow
That's okay.
before Josh does.
I got Mark on lockdown.
Okay, good.
But
so what's your follow-up text sound like?
Hey, got any updates? I'm still ready to go if you are.
Okay, and what that does, I obviously I know the answers to all these things, but I want you guys to tell the audience as if I've never heard it before. But what that does for the agent, name a couple of things. Why is that helpful for the agent?
So the agent remembers that I'm calling them, right? Because today they're going to get another call from someone else who's wanting to do the same thing. Me shooting them that text keeps them fresh in the brain. And then another thing that I do is I send them an updated credibility. So if I close 2 deals that week, I update my credibility and I blast it out to like 60 agents that get updated deals I've done. I'm like,
super smart.
And on every LOI you have your phone number. So what happens is you get phone calls along the way. So a couple of deals that we closed on, that realtor would not get offers. They will go back to their email, type in like 123 Main Street, and our LOI will be one of the few if there are other.
Okay, so there is actual strategy to this.
yeah.
So it's simple, but it's not necessarily easy because you actually have to work.
And yeah,
Yes.
so, and the thing is, me and Kevin are doing it incredibly consistently. So, and that's how I'm able to get the deal I'm moving into now is follow.
Okay, so what you're talking about is actually we made a YouTube video about this today, just off the iPhone. Shout out to Apple. Anybody has an Android, you guys
Gotta upgrade.
just upgrade. Okay, I'm just going to keep teasing you until the whole world upgrades.
Go get a SubTo deal and then buy it with us.
There you go. In fact, do a deal with me and I'll buy you an iPhone. That's my thing. Anytime that a green bubbler gives me a SubTo deal, they get the assignment fee and an iPhone attached to it. So you've got a house that you just bought for yourself.
Subject to.
Okay, so we'll do a deal breakdown on a couple of deals here after this, but I just want to talk about the strategy a little bit more. So let's say that a seller, let's talk about 4101 West Flower Street.
Yes,
Okay, you guys called the agent on that, did you not?
That was not me.
that was me.
Okay, you called the agent on that multiple times.
Yes, we did.
And you ended up not being able to get the deal through the agent.
No, we went on the expired listings, and it went from active to expired listing.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a minute, okay? Because you're going to get a lot of agents that say, no. This video is just about agents learning this as it is for investors that are struggling and trying to make money in today's market. Real estate agent, like that real estate agent on 4101 West Flower Street was told about subject to 5 or 6 times before they got fired by the seller. Did they not?
Yes. And they still didn't take it.
and they still didn't take it, but the seller fired them.
Yes.
What happens when a seller fires the agent? What does that become?
It becomes that expired listing.
Okay, so how do I find an expired listing, Josh?
If you have PropStream, it'll show you on PropStream, or you can text the local agent and be like, "Hey, can you send me a list of all the expired addresses?" And agent will do that all day long.
Okay,
So,
as long as the agent gets promised that they're going to be able to work with you on some of these deals, right?
no, I mean, if someone texted me right now and said, "Hey, can you send me an expired list?" I'd send it to them. It doesn't hurt me. It doesn't hurt. Yeah, it doesn't dampen my day. It takes 2 minutes.
Okay, cool. So is PropStream better for expired listings or MLS?
MLS is exact. So
PropStream is later. It takes a little bit to index essentially.
Yes.
So PropStream is always going to be a little bit skewed.
yeah, I think that's the benefit of being an agent doing this is I get exact data, but I think PropStream is how I've done most of my deals, and I just cross check it on MLS, so I don't really need it.
Okay.
It's more of just like a nice little cushion to have.
Okay, so Kevin, let's say on Flower Street, the house that I ended up buying from you, how much did you make on that deal?
8,000.
8,000. And what happened with the agent, and how did you talk to the seller for the first time?
So agent refused when they were on market. The agent didn't even present the SubTo offer to the seller, from what I believe. And when it expired, we reached out to the seller and said I did a whole pitch about, hey, I can come in and take over the payments. I can give you a little bit of money in your pocket. And then but at the time the listing agent was still somewhat involved. I forget the details of the deal, but they were still involved where they wanted to get paid on the deal. Their full commission, even though we presented the offer, they never presented to the seller. So the listing agent tried to get paid, and we worked. We didn't want to pay them the full commission because at that point that would not be a deal. So we ended up selling for I think we gave them like $2,500.
I remember this. The agent was trying to kill the deal.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, pay him something. Give him something to just walk away.
Mm-hmm.
And so the agent got paid, and seller got $8,000. Is that right?
I think they got $20,000.
Okay, cool. So the seller walked away. Do you remember the interest rate on that one?
2.6%.
Cool. Yeah, it's a great deal. All I know, it's a great deal.
Yeah, I don't know the interest rate. I forget. I know the payment is like
It's very low. It's a VA loan. It's very low interest rate. Okay, so what you're doing is you're going to listed properties on the MLS, low equity, has to be listed because then I know the seller's trying to sell.
right.
If I go pull a list right now, let's say in Southern California, how many of these opportunities do you think would pull up on PropStream?
Very few.
What's very few?
Less than 100, I'd say.
Okay, so right now in Phoenix, Arizona, there's less than 100 of these.
Oh, I don't know about
SoCal will be a lot more. There's many more houses there.
Yeah, when I pull my list, I get probably about 60 VAs and like probably right about 80 conventionals.
Okay, and that's what, once a month?
That does it. My thing refreshes once a week.
Okay, got it.
That's not new. But my list remains stays.
Because it stays the same. Some fall off, some come on, some fall off, come on. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What about expired listings? How many expired listings do you think I have in Maricopa County right now? I know the answer. I looked at it this morning. Take a guess.
I feel like it was like 8,000
No. Well, there's 8,000 expired listings, but just in the last 30 days.
in the last 30 days.
Yeah.
Going 600.
Pretty good guess. What do you think?
Just about 1,000.
Yeah, just about 1,000. It's 987 expired listings the last 30 days. You were really close.
Wow.
Yeah, so expired listings are pretty amazing, obviously, because now the agents have been let go. You don't have that extra. Do you feel like it's easier to go with directly to the seller on an expired listing or easier to go with the agent?
I think it depends on the agent, and I think it depends on the seller. So I think I've had great agents like the one for Mallory.
Yeah, the agent, Stacy.
Stacy, she's fantastic. I called her and, she was like, I've never heard of this before, but this sounds fantastic if everything you're saying is true. And that's like the best thing she could say.
What's funny, she'd been in the business a long time.
Yeah. So she's been doing it she's a great agent. And then she was like, let me look this up. Let me make sure everything looks right. And then I'll present it to my seller.
When we were in the seller appointment today, and by the way, I recorded that. So guys, what we'll do is we'll do a Mallory deal breakdown. It'll be like a real deal episode. And I'll give you guys the seller conversation that we had today with the seller. Was that pretty interesting to hear that call?
Yeah,
or that conversation? What did
you say here? What we did that made the deal work?
Well, we'll talk about it in the Mallory video. We won't make this one too much longer. So let's say I start, like Kevin, let's say somebody join SubTo community.
Yeah.
They go, I'm going to go and latch on to Kevin, latch on to Josh. How quickly do you think they could make $10,000 working underneath you guys?
I'll say a week for me.
I did. So Laura sent me Kevin's number in December,
Mm-hmm.
and we closed on our first deal like January 7th.
Wow.
So that, I mean,
How much did you make on the first deal?
I made $7,000 on my first deal.
Almost.
Oh yeah, that was a house. I remember Harvard Street,
Harvard.
16, 17.
So
Did I buy that one?
No, but it's for sale.
You son of bitches.
No. This is the thing: is we sold it. And I'm buying it back.
From Kyle.
Yes,
you're buying it back?
yes. I went to the house.
You want a JV on it?
Let's do it.
All right, we'll break it down.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Can I sneak it up?
Is this the one in Santan?
No, you can buy the Santan house too. That's for sale too.
Let's look at these as pad splits and let's see if we can make them work.
Perfect.
Can I sneak in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got so somebody can make 10 grand. I jump in, I put in the work. Very simple. I'm going after low equity on PropStream. I have you guys for guidance, you guys' credibility, the community and the documents and the transaction coordinations, all the stuff that we get inside the community. I could come on in reasonably 60 days. I could make my first 10 grand.
Oh yeah, 60 days. That's a long time.
If you put in the work, and I did put in the work, I definitely think that you can make the money very quickly. I did it in 2 weeks.
Even though the market is trending downward and everybody else is getting fired in the loan world and the interest rate are destroying agents' ability to sell houses, you're telling me I could make 100, 200 grand this year new.
I wish the market would completely tank. It would be better.
Isn't that so interesting about creative finance?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like fingers crossed for the debt sale.
All of us. I mean, they always raise the dates to selling, but everybody in creative finance sits there and we're so happy when the market's trending downward because we have strategies and techniques nobody else has.
Yep.
Right.
But the cool thing is even when the market wasn't trending downward, you were still cranking and doing deals.
Yes.
And I had no idea how to pitch SubTo on like the 2 weeks that I worked, and I still got my deal.
But you have that's the purpose of a community. You got to have community around you. You got to have people that are actually going to help you. Like it's one thing to learn it. It's another thing to have somebody that's next to you to apply. Which is why we built the SubTo community. That's why I appreciate you helping out with the meetups on Saturdays because that's what people need more than anything else is connection with another human being. Like not many people go, okay, I watched a video. Let me go take action, create a problem. And now I have a problem. I'm going to go watch the next video. It's like, I need somebody to tell me the answer to this right now.
Yeah.
I think the best way, if you want to make the money, you call the list and then you go, let me set up a call with you and my investor.
Yep.
And then, so I think you get to step one, you get the agent interested, and then you slide the responsibility to the next person.
There you go.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Kevin, you and I can do another video about the Gator method and how you made $6,000 this week. I don't know why you didn't. I told you I was going to give you my 401k to go crank it.
No, I will use it. Yeah. I'm about to run out of my own money.
That's good. All right. So how can people get a hold of you boys? Kevin Choe 12 on Instagram.
Yeah.
Boenze Frenzy on Instagram. Is that correct?
Boenze_Frenzy. It has my phone number in my bio. That's the best way to get a hold of
And guys, give them some love in the comments because both of these two young whippersnappers just bought their first homestead themselves. You bought a nice big home in Ahwatukee.
Yeah.
Well, how big is that?
2,600 square feet.
You're 22 years old. What are you going to do with 2,600 square feet?
I don't know.
Run around naked and like have a jungle gym in there?
I'll figure it out. But it's an Airbnb pool, 4-bedroom, 2-bath,
Fully furnished?
fully furnished, $650,000 house.
$650,000 house as a 22-year-old kid. No credit check, no credentials. Seller gave the house to you fully furnished.
Yes.
We'll do a deal breakdown on that after you move in.
Yes.
Okay, I'll come over. We'll do a podcast in the house.
Okay.
Josh, you just moved into the mural, like heaven of the world, dude. You just signed on it today.
Sign on it today.
How do your parents think about you right now?
My mom, when I first got into real estate, she was a little bit nervous.
Mhm.
Now I've never been more praised as a child.
Really? Yeah. Is she like, when can I quit my job, Josh?
Retire
me, Josh.
Yeah, so I think I am going to hire my mom. That's my goal. One of my next goals is to hire my mom.
Amazing.
I wouldn't have forgot my wallet today.
Oh my gosh, guys.
And my mom's like my anchor.
So we go over to see Josh's house today. It's 111 degrees today. It's blistering hot for people from, we got Sammy, Sam, Jessa, we got Ramel, and we've got Alex Salazar in the studio. Give them some love. in the comments down below. Alex is running the switcher board. If he's actually doing a good job on the switcher board, please make a comment down below. If he sucks, give him some tips down in the comments. But we go over there to see Josh's house and meet the notary, and we're hanging out. The link to that video to see the details of that deal is down in the description as well. And we're about to sign, and Josh goes, I don't have my license.
My vertical license.
He was like, I have a photo of my passport. Notary's like, crap, I actually felt bad for the notary. I bet he would have taken it if we weren't there. But because we all had cameras on him, he's like, crap. Can you guys just turn your cameras off? So I found his license. It's right here. Would have saved us a bunch of time. I actually felt bad about that. Okay, cool. So people can reach out to you. We know that this is possible. You would tell people, join a community, get linked in with another human being as fast as possible. It's trying to do the same thing as you.
Yeah.
And you're going to make money.
100%.
Are you guys looking for space you guys have space on your team? You're looking for people to join?
I want people to set up phone calls for me.
Yeah.
Hey, let me close your deals.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
Come on. It's got to be harder than that.
No, it's simple, but not.
You just got to do the work.
Takes focus.
Yeah.
Is there mundane parts of the day where you're like, I got to make more calls?
Every day is mundane. And when I have people shadow me, they say, and I tell them up front, hey, this will be really, really boring. And they said, it's fine. It's fine. I'll still come shadow you. And at the end of the day, they said, this is really boring.
That's how you make $600,000 in a year.
I sit in a phone booth for like 4 hours of my day, and then I help Kevin with whatever else he needs.
What would you rather do? Would you rather keep working at Starbucks or go make $200,000 a year working 4 hours in a phone booth?
I would rather do this. I mean, me and Kevin do awesome stuff all the time. We go see a property probably about 4 times a week.
Yeah.
What's great is like I get on the phone with Kevin this morning. I go, hey, you want to go to North Carolina with me tomorrow? He's like, sure. And that's the cool thing about being an entrepreneur and ruling your own time is that you can decide to go where you want, when you want, jump on a plane.
Yeah.
And you'll still be able to make money because you've got you got a pipeline going, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got Mallory Street, the one that you're going to buy. I was sitting in a lounge chair in Hawaii when the agent called me back and said, hey, make an offer on my house. The best deal I've ever done.
Amazing. So guys, give them some love in the comments. If you guys want to see more from these two gentlemen, please let us know. I do buy deals from them, and you'll see them more and more on the channel. Great guys. And we'll see you guys in a video on Mallory breaking down a deal. We'll also break down his deal that he just moved into. And then Kevin and I will do a deal about your new home.
Yes.
And we'll do a video all about what you're doing with Gator as well.
Yeah.
Shout out, guys. We'll see you later. See you in the next video. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.